items in the agenda in the second reading file, and we are now in the voting file, third reading file. And with that, first on the agenda is substitute bill number 180 EC as substituted by the committee.
Bill number 180 EC as substituted by the Committee on Finance, Taxation, Commerce, and Economic Development and amended on the floor, introduced by Edward J. B. Calvo, Frank F. Blas Jr., J.T. Wampet, and others. An act to make appropriations to the Guam Public School System, the Guam Memorial Hospital Authority, the Department of Public Health and Social Services, the Guam Police Department, and the Office of the Attorney General, and for other purposes.
Roll call.
Senator Blas? Yes. Speaker Calvo?
Aye.
Senator Espaldon? Yes. Speaker Forbes? Senator Gutherts? Yes. Senator Shijaki? Senator Lohan? Yes. Senator Munia Barnes? Okay. Senator Palacios? Speaker Pangilinan? Okay. Senator Respicio? Okay. Senator Shimizu? Yes. Senator Tenorio? Yes. Senator Wampet?
The votes on bill number 180 EC as substituted are 13 yeas, 0 nays, and 1 absenteeism. Substitute bill number 180 EC has been passed unanimously by Senator Guam. Bill number 170 LS as amended.
Bill number 170 LS as amended, introduced by Frank F. Blas Jr., Edward J. B. Calvo, James V. Espaldon, and others. An act to add a new Article 9 to Chapter 60 of Title 21 of the Guam Code annotated to establish the DLM Building Construction Fund to deposit any and all funds from FEMA Hazard Mitigation Grant Program awarded under project number HMGP DR 1446, project number 15, relative to the construction of a new Department of Land Management building in Naganya.
Roll call.
Senator Blas? Yes. Speaker Calvo?
Aye.
Senator Espaldon? Yes. Speaker Forbes? Senator Gutherts? Yes. Senator Shijaki? Senator Lohan? Yes. Senator Munia Barnes? Okay. Senator Palacios? Okay. Speaker Pangilinan? Okay. Senator Respicio? Yes. Senator Shimizu? Yes. Senator Tenorio? Okay. Senator Wampet?
The votes on bill number 170 LS as amended are 13 yeas, 0 nays, and 1 absent. Bill number 170 LS as amended has been unanimously passed by Senator Guam. Bill number 171 LS as amended.
Bill number 171 LS as amended, introduced by J.T. Wampa, Judith Paulette Gutherts, Tina Rose Munia Barnes, and others. An act to add a new Chapter 11 to Division 2 of Title 17 Guam Code annotated, relative to authorizing the Superintendent of Education to establish a public corporation for the purpose of advancing excellence in education, to be known as the Foundation for Public Education Act of 2007.
Roll call.
Senator Blas? Speaker Calvo?
Aye.
Senator Espaldon? Speaker Forbes? Senator Guthert? Senator Sijaki? Senator Lohan? Senator Munia Barnes? Senator Palacios? Speaker Pangilinan? Senator Respicio? Senator Shimizu? Senator Tenorio? Senator Wampat? Senator Espaldon? Senator Espaldon?
The votes on Bill 171 LS as amended are 13 yeas, 0 nays, and 1 absence. Bill 171 LS as amended has been unanimously passed by Legislature of Guam. Bill number 177 LS as amended.
Bill number 177 LS as amended, introduced by J.T. Wampa, Judith Paulette Guthers, R.J. Respicio, and others. An act to add a new section 15113 to Chapter 15, Title 17 GCA, relative to the student scholarships, financial assistance programs, and its program administration at the University of Guam.
Roll call.
Senator Blas? Speaker Calvo?
Aye.
Senator Espaldon? Speaker Forbes? Senator Guthert? Senator Sijaki? Senator Lohan? Senator Munia Barnes? Senator Palacios? Speaker Pangilinan? Senator Respicio? Senator Shimizu? Senator Tenorio? Senator Wampat?
The vote on Bill 177 LS as amended are 13 yeas, 0 nays, and 1 absence. Bill number 177 LS as amended has been unanimously passed by Legislature of Guam. I just want to make sure I said Bill 171 LS has been unanimously adopted.
177.
177.
Did I say 171?
Excuse me, the order, there was an order.
Yes, Senator mixed up.
I'm just need a correct, I'm not too sure of, from the clerk what I just stated. because there was a mix-up on the bills in the order that it's in the folder.
And just as a point of information, Mr.
Yeah.
Speaker, I know it's been passed by 13 members, and you keep saying unanimously.
It is not, you know.
We just don't want to presume on the good Speaker Forbes that would have voted yes on all of these
Yeah.
also. Thank you.
Ooh. I'm missing a bill.
127.
Okay. My apologies, there is one bill that was missing from my folder. Bill number 127, EC as substituted by the committee.
Bill number 127 EC as substituted by the Committee on Public Safety, Criminal Justice, and Youth, and amended, introduced by Ray Tenorio, Edward J.B. Calvo, A.B. Palacios Sr., and others. An act to add a new section 70.45 to Chapter 70 of Title 9 Guam Code annotated relative to leaving children unattended or unsupervised in motor vehicles.
Roll call.
Senator Blas. Speaker Calvo.
Aye.
Senator Espaldon. Speaker Forbes. Senator Guthertz. Senator Ishizaki. Senator Lujan. Senator Munya Barnes. Senator Palacios. Speaker Pangilinan. Senator Respicio. Senator Shimizu. Senator Tenorio. Senator Wampat. Senator Ishizaki.
The votes on Bill 127 EC as substituted are 13 yeas, 0 nays, and 1 absent. Bill number 127 EC as substituted has been duly passed by Legislatura Guam. Bill number 190 EC as amended.
Bill number 190 EC as amended, introduced by Edward J.B. Calvo, Tina Rose Munya Barnes, James V. Espaldon, and others. An act to place block number 5, building 125 Iglesias Circle, under the administrative jurisdiction of the mayor of Dededo.
Roll call.
Senator Blas. Speaker Calvo.
Aye.
Senator Espaldon. Speaker Forbes. Senator Guthertz. Senator Shijaki. Senator Lujan. Senator Munya Barnes. Senator Palacios. Speaker Pangilinan. Senator Respicio. Senator Shimizu. Senator Tenorio. Senator Wampat. Senator Palacios. Senator Palacios.
The votes on Bill 190EC as amended are 12 yeas, 1 nay, and 1 absence. Bill 190EC as amended has been duly passed by Satura Guam. Bill number 176EC.
Bill number 176 EC as amended by the Committee on Judiciary, Natural Resources, Infrastructure, and Cultural Affairs. Introduced by V.C. Pangilinan, J.T. Wampat, Frank F. Blas Jr., and others. An act to amend Article 1, Chapter 14 of Title 12 Guam Code annotated relative to declaring the property in and the right to the use of all water at any time in a stream, river, or other surface source, and water located beneath the ground and in the aquifer in Guam are, for all purposes, vested in the government of Guam.
Roll call.
Senator Blas? Speaker Calvo?
Aye.
Senator Espaldon? Speaker Forbes? Senator Guthert? Senator Shijaki? Senator Lohan? Senator Munya Barnes? Senator Palacios? Speaker Pangilinan? Senator Respicio? Senator Shimizu? Senator Tenorio? Senator Wampat? Senator Espaldon? Senator Shijaki? Senator Shijaki?
The votes on Bill number 176EC are 13 yeas, 0 nays, and 1 absent. Bill 176EC has been duly passed by Satura Guam. Resolution number 103LS.
Resolution number 103 LS as amended. Introduced by R.J. Respicio, Tina Rose Munya Barnes, Judith Paulette Gutherts, and others. Relative to stating the sense of Imina 29 in la Legislature in Guahan that the location of Guam's new landfill has already been determined by Public Law 23-95 and that the selection of Dandan Lodson area for a landfill is contrary to existing Guam law, is in violation of the federal consent decree, and also ignores the necessity of developing the water resources within the Inarahan watershed for future use, including addressing the need for as much as 25% increase in the need for fresh water for the upcoming military buildup, and to request that the information contained herein and attached as exhibits be included in the court record of civil case numbers 02-00022 before the District Court of Guam relative to the consent decree to close the ordered dump and open a new sanitary landfill in Guam.
Roll call.
Senator Blas? Speaker Calvo?
Mr. Speaker?
Senator Calvo.
Yeah, Mr. Speaker, I requesting if the body would allow me to recuse myself on vote on resolution number 103 LS due to a conflict of interest.
All right. On the motion, Senator Pangilinan.
I'd like to request the details of the conflict of interest.
There's been a request.
Yes, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, there are areas that are touched on in the resolution that deal with a potential new landfill. And the properties that have been indicated, there is a family interest in ownership in the properties that are indicated within the resolution. And because of this, again, what appears to me as a potential conflict of interest, I'm requesting that the body do allow me to recuse myself from the vote.
Okay, thank you, Senator. On the motion, without objection, Senator Calvo is excused from voting. Continue the roll call.
Senator Espaldon. Speaker Forbes. Senator Guthertz. Yes. Senator Shujaki. Yes. Senator Lohan. Yes. Senator Munya Barnes. Yes. Senator Palacios. Yes. Speaker Pangilinan. Senator Respicio. Yes. Senator Shimizu. Yes. Senator Tenorio.
All here. All here.
Okay. Senator Wampat. Senator Espaldon. Senator Shujaki. Senator Espaldon.
On Resolution 103 EC, there are 8 yeas, 4 nays, 1 absent, and
One abstain.
1 abstain. Resolution number 103 LS,
One excuse.
1 excuse, absent. Resolution number 103 LS has been duly adopted by a minimity in the way of the Tarangwahan. We are now in the brief extension remarks. All right. We are in concurrence calendar,
Voting?
the voting file. Okay. Is there a motion with respect to the nominees, Senator Lohan?
Excuse from voting.
Senator Lohan, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I move that the nominations for confirmations for Ms. Michelle H. Titano to the Guam Parole Board, Mr. Kenneth C. Boardman to serve as a member of the Guam Parole Board, Mr. Rigel to the member of the Guam Contractors Licensing Board, Ms. Maria Flor Herrero to the Guam Council on Arts and Humanities, Ms. Monica Alcada Guzman to the Guam Council on Arts and Humanities, Mr. Mr. Bryant C. Duenas to the Guam Council on Arts and Humanities to be voted by the show of hands.
All right, on the motion to vote, a show of hand, there are no objections. All right, as many as are in favor for the named nominees for the appointed boards, please raise your hand. All right. Let the record show that all the nominees have been duly confirmed by Minibete 9 ng Legislature ng Guam. Speaker Calvo.
We've dispensed in all areas in the voting file. Senator, oh yeah. We've dispensed with all areas in the voting file, and this being again the last session of the year 2007, I thought it appropriate to allow at least for a brief extension of remarks, and we're looking towards the body for any senator who would like to speak. Senator Tenorio.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, thank you very much for the opportunity to extend remarks at the end of the 2007 year. I would like to begin by reflecting, as this year is, I think, has been one of challenge for us, both personally and as professionally, due to, of course, the loss of a very dear friend and a mentor, someone whose name is now making this hall even more hallowed, our good friend Antonio Regis Pinku from the village of Santa Rita. But it also has been a year, Mr. Speaker, of cooperation between the majority and the minority. We've enjoyed, I think, a great deal of dialogue and discourse, and I think that we have seen many discussions on this floor which have met with compromise on the greatest ideals of democracy that we practice within our nation. We have also suffered, as you are aware, the absence of our good friend and our speaker, Mark Forbes, who, as you know, is still recovering from his illness and is surrounded by his family and, of course, his friends. And we all have been thinking of him since the time that he has departed, of course, and gone off to seek treatment and come back to our island. And we always keep our thoughts to him and hope that he will come back to this hall very soon and join us in the work that we do. Mr. Speaker, I'd also like to say that I express to my friends, of course, and my family and my colleagues here today, and the staff of my office who have worked very diligently along with the central staff of the Guam Legislature and all the government employees of our executive and the judicial branches. Thank you for the work that they have done in this last year to try to make our island a better place to do their duties and to carry out their functions. And to also my family and my friends and all of my colleagues here to ask you, of course, and myself, to keep Christ and Christmas and remember that this is the time to remember our Lord's birth. And then finally, Mr. Speaker, in keeping my brief extension of remarks brief, I want to say to you, of course, and to all of your family and your friends, Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Holidays, and thank you very much for working with me in this legislature's 29th legislature here in this year of 2007. God bless you.
Thank you very much, Senator Tenorio. Senator Speaker Ben Pangilinan.
Si Mr. Speaker. Speaker tibinan anak kosti sa guahalo ko isang primas patrata so guilo. Jawa na beo extendi un dongkulo na si Masi para ipubliko ni muna ay oportunidad para ta serbisyan yesti nasakan dari finakpo nasakan da tagagagaw na ufam binindisi gas duos i siya da ni familia niya ta na ilokwe dongkulo na agradecimiento i familian amiguta ni Taiguista si Speaker Ampinko sa manswetihid sa an mandanyayid sa ni familiata megayin man kabalis pago i familian no Speaker Ampinko an mandanya si Emily sa ni famaguun guahatay gigi siya da dongkulizo na piniti siyempre ma sienti mas gwini na ora da tanaw ini sininterta na tasyenti sinintindi niya lokwe sa mampariawit sa prista hasui amiguta tagagaw si tatata lokwe daw continue daw binindisi si Speaker Forbes ni guahasya fafana ni esti salud na banda ta gago tinaytay tana ini dan ta ofresi tinaytay ta para u giniha todo za u benendisi gas Diyos gawin ni na humlo. Mr. Speaker, I just want to extend a sincere appreciation for the people of Guam for the opportunity to work with them and for them over this last year. I want to extend a Merry Christmas and a safe one to all the people of Guam, and I want to let the Ampinko family know that as they gather this Christmas without Speaker Ampinko, that we will feel the pain, but we will also share the good memories that will be present at that time. We wish for continued God's blessing on Speaker Forbes, and that God will see fit to grant him the peace and the healing that will ensure that he's able to continue on with his life, with his family. And so for all this, we are eternally grateful to the blessings of our Father throughout the year and ask for continued blessings through the new year. So just must say.
Yeah, thank you very much, Senator Pangilinan. Senator Lujan?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for allowing me to say a few words. You know, a year ago today, the 29th Guam Legislature was readying itself for swearing in its inauguration, to be inclusive of Speaker Ampinko, Speaker Forbes. We're here today, the hall being named after Speaker Ampinko is gone before us, and Speaker Forbes is recuperating from an illness. Drastic things have happened in 1 year. That's the road of life. That being said, Mr. Speaker, it's been a tough year. 29th Guam Legislature has had to make decisions, tough decisions this past year. But that's part of life as well. In coming to the close of 2007, I want to wish you, Mr. Speaker, as acting Speaker, you and your family, a very Merry Christmas. To my colleagues in the 29th Guam Legislature, very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. To the three candidates who are running to fill the seat of Speaker Ampinko, the best of luck. Former Senator B.J. Cruz, former Senator Tom Atta, and candidate Tello Taidagui. Have a blessed Christmas, fantastic New Year, and the best of luck to the three of you in this upcoming election. And again, to the people of Guam, thank you again for allowing us here in this body to serve each and every one of you. We all look forward to 2008 to serve you again. We hope that this next year will not bring to us the challenges that we have faced, most especially in our missing colleagues. So with that, again, to my colleagues here, to the people of Guam, to all the people of Guam, government workers, private citizens, the military personnel, hope that we work together in this 2008 to make Guam a better place. With that, again, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to each and every one of the people of Guam. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Senator Lujan. Minority Leader Senator Wampat.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, this would definitely be brief. I'd just like to basically say that this session year has been an exciting year for some, challenging for others. But I think most of all, I think it's probably been the most fruitful. So I would just like to extend my best wishes and prayers, of course, to one of our colleagues, his family that we've just lost. And of course, to send prayers as well for the Speaker for a speedy recovery. And we hope that next year would be definitely a really good year, and we're looking forward to his return. And most of all, I'd like to thank and wish the people of Guam happy holidays. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much, Minority Leader Juan Pat. Senator Judy Gutherts.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker and colleagues. Good morning to everyone. As Senator Lujan has said, it's been almost a year since we readied ourselves to take our oaths for the 29th Guam Legislature. And as a first-time senator, I have to tell you, it's been quite an adjustment. Coming from the halls of academy to the realm of policy making has been quite a change for me. And I'm still, in many ways, learning the ropes, and have learned more than anything the necessity to be patient, because the public policy process is long and grueling and never goes the way you'd like it to go. Something always happens to change the direction of a bill or an amendment, and you have to be able to swing with the punches. Sometimes you're successful and sometimes you're not. But what I find most amazing about this group of senators is the accommodations and the goodwill, despite our disagreements on certain bills and certain actions. We always leave this hall as comrades and with the best interests of our community in our hearts. As a little girl, I remember going to the Legislative Hall with my father to watch the sessions. Those were the days of Senator Earl Conway and Senator Juan Pat and Speaker Ramirez and others of their time. And I was always inspired by them and never thought ever that in my future I would be here with my colleagues trying to produce policies that really help the community. So I'm very grateful for that. I know that our dear departed speaker and fellow colleague, Senator Pinko, is up there watching us. And I also believe that Speaker Forbes is probably at home watching the session today. So I want to say a special hello to Mark and to his family, and to let him know we're waiting for his return, and all of our love and best wishes are for his speedy recovery. At the same time, Mr. Speaker, I think we have a very large agenda before us, starting in January. There are tremendous issues facing our community. Many of them deal with finances in government, but more than that, they deal with quality life issues for our people. We have to plan and prepare for the military bill to make sure that it works in the best interest of everybody on Guam, not just the military, but all of our people in the civilian community. We have to be concerned about the crime rate occurring in our community, about the problems that so many of our youth seem to be experiencing who are getting in trouble with the law. We have to be caring and worried about the tremendous health challenges facing Guam and the continuous lack of monies to be able to take care of our people who are truly in need of health care. We still have our political status issue to look at, which seems to be a non-issue to so many of our leaders, but should be a priority issue if Guam is going to move forward hand in hand with this military buildup. So these are some of the things that I will be concentrating on in January, and I invite my colleagues to join me to move forward their agenda for public policy making on Guam. The last thing, Speaker, I want to thank you. You have met the challenge, come forward in a time of unexpected demands, and serve the legislature in a very commendable manner. Our acting speaker has brought us forward. You've been very fair, I believe, and I want to thank you for that, Mr. Acting Speaker. Ladies and gentlemen, I think we should all sing a Christmas song. And I'd like to ask our acting speaker, before we leave here today, to lead us in a Christmas song that we can sing to the people of Guam together. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you very much, Senator Guthrie, for the compliment. I don't know whether you'll be complimenting me after I sing a song, but thank you very much, Senator Guthrie. Senator Respicio?
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the previous speaker, as eloquent as usual, spoke about how being this is the first term, the first year of her public service as a member of the legislature, how it's been challenging for her. Well, for me, Mr. Speaker, I'm concluding my 5th year, and I want to say this past year has also been challenging for me because, as all of us know, Senators Guthrie, Munya Barnes, and I decided to do something unprecedented by pulling our resources together, sharing our little budget, sharing our staff. I know it's been somewhat done before, but I think in our office it's a little different, and we always say it's like one house with 3 bedrooms. And I'm telling you, moving in with 2 ladies, I got the smallest office. They tell me what to do, and I do as I'm told. So publicly, I want to thank the 2 of them for being very patient, for having this kind of collegial relationship, and for making it work. And I want to extend my appreciation even further to every single member of the legislature, both Republican and Democrat. This issue of majority and minority is kind of confusing, Mr. Speaker, because even though the numbers are more on our side, we do not have the majority in a sense that we don't control the committees, we don't control the agenda, and so we continue to say we need to work with the Republican-controlled legislature, and we've seen that over the last year. I want to especially reflect a little bit on the life of Speaker Pinko, and extend to his family the most Dunkluna Sijus Maasi for allowing that man to serve our people for over 30 years, and the sacrifices that that family has had to make because he chose a life of public service. And we all know that our families make that same sacrifice because of the kind of choices that we've made. Mr. Speaker, I want to thank you also personally for stepping in a most difficult time, most unfortunate time, and most unusual time, and I think you've done a great job in a way to bring both sides together, and we hope to see more of that in the immediate future, regardless of which side has more numbers. It's not usually the legislative process is about numbers, but really you must get numbers from both sides if you want anything to be accomplished. I want to wish the people of Guam, Dunkluna Sijus Maasi, wish them a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and reaffirm my commitment that when the Christmas trees are down and the decorations are put away, the celebration is over, we're going to resolve even more to come back here and address some of our problems, such as the solid waste crisis, the government finances, and what we did with Resolution 103, Mr. Speaker, is a good start. And I want to thank every single member of the legislature for deliberating on this, and regardless of whether or not they voted for or against it, I think we have at least 8 members who are going to engage our legal counsel to let the judge know of the other side that we've been trying to portray to her. And so I want to again thank you for the suggestion that we have a brief extension of remarks, and I want to state that I'm very appreciative of what has happened over the last year. And maybe there's more to come in the spirit of bipartisanship and cooperation from both sides of the aisle. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Okay, thank you very much, Senator Respicio. Senator Ishizaki.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. You know, it's been a very informative year with a lot of different experiences, and it's been a real challenge for me, and I thank this body for helping me along. I also want to thank the people we serve and our families and our loved ones and our extended families for supporting us through and allowing us to serve them in the mission that we serve as legislators. And it's a good time to reflect on Senator Tony Pinko and his family and to extend them our heartfelt. And we've done that, but you know, I think all of us have known Tony for many, many, many years, and we miss him. I miss him, and I've known him maybe longer than many of you have, and he's a tremendous loss to us. And we do miss Speaker Forbes, and I know he's watching us today, and we'll have to push him along for a speedy recovery, and I trust that he would do that and come back with us this coming year. And I think I also want to remember all of the people that have to work through the holidays. Our people in healthcare, our people in public safety, our people in public health and public works, and especially the men and women in our military who are serving our country and our island in distant places. So to all of you, and I want to wish you all a Merry Christmas, and I look forward to continuing this next year. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Senator Ishizaki. Senator Espeldon.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I too would like to send my best wishes to the people of Guam and to my colleagues here, and of course, especially to the staff here at the legislature, who has definitely made our job much easier and who has helped in the process. They're a very important component. The previous speakers, all of them, have basically mentioned Senator Mpinko's name because of his passing, as well as our Speaker, Mark Forbes' health condition, and we all do wish him the best in recovery. But the point that I guess I'm trying to get to is that it brings to mind, or it should bring to mind within ourselves, just how fragile human life is. We have no control of when we go. We have no control sometimes of some of the things that are providently designed. So as we wind down this year, as we go back home to our families to enjoy the few holidays that we do have, I think we need to reflect upon those issues that deal with the lives of our people on this island, because life is fragile. And so we need to make the best conditions, set the conditions so that we do lead a quality life for all our people. I think also that as we go into the end of the year and go into the new year, we also have to, as we go home for the holidays, we also have to keep in mind of the challenges that we do have in the next year, in 2008. And again, it has to be with the focus on what is in the best interest of our people. I think this past year has been a real good experience for me working with my colleagues, because we have seen a lot more congeniality, a lot more cohesiveness in terms of just discussions and trying to work out the issues. Sometimes we've had to take some recesses, a 1-minute recess that lasted for several hours. But that was all in the spirit of being able to discuss the issues, so that when we do come to the floor, that we have some kind of recognition of what we need to do. But I do want to thank all my colleagues here especially for extending their hand, for not making the divide between majority and minority, Republican and Democrat, as a real divide. It's all in name more than in substance, once we get into this hall. So I do want to congratulate everybody and thank you for, coming together as one body. But to end it, I do want to say thank you so much, Mr. Speaker, for stepping up to the plate in most trying of times. You've done an excellent job, and we look forward to, leadership of not only yourself, but of all the members of this ground as well. I would also want to wish the governor and his staff up there the merits of holidays, and again, to keep in mind what our mission is, and that is always to act in the best interest of our people on this island. Happy holidays, sir.
Thank you very much, Senator Espeldon. Senator Palacios.
Sejauh maksud Mr. Speaker, como para tahutum pa ako nasakkan ichota malago zo na benoy agradecimiento y tau Guam ni manayo ni confianza niya ane para besit como senador. Al mismo tiempo, Mr. Speaker, malago no tadzo de senata na binti sihit jo noy ni minauling na lilala. Jan ruputehin mo na ginila lauta gimamala na sakkan kontra peligro, kontra dinimalas, kontra adburuto jan kontra fa na minalongo. Jona utata jojo no na gwaha pas kintihita jan ni familiata jan iza tagosa esti mamamela na holidays. Mungat man malefalokin na tungo ta Speaker Forbes siguro jo na malago na kaigi mon gini pa na momento lo ikondisyon niya ti inautoriza lo ni ja mungat man malefa anay man lanya jan familia ja tago sa ni lalata ni ja tahasulok ki ja na los proimus iman chat saga jani man mamalidesi ja wala ramon ja nilibyaano ni Senata Cristo. Jesus mo si Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much, Senator Palacios. Senator Tina Rose Munya Barnes.
Mr. Speaker, for giving me the opportunity to extend some brief remarks. I promise it'll be brief. As we close this session and as we celebrate the joy and of the coming of the Lord Jesus Christ, I'd like to extend my own Masi to all my colleagues, to you, but most especially to the people of Guam. I share a lot of the sentiments that my colleagues have expressed, but it has been trying for a lot of us. With the missing of Speaker Forbes, we hope for his speedy recovery and to come back. With the passing of Speaker Uncle Tony Pinko, I believe in my heart he's up there in heaven watching over us and saying, you know, we're all doing a good job. Mr. Speaker, as we continue to celebrate the joy of Christmas, it's important to know that we should continue to extend the peace among ourselves, peace among our families, and to bring close together those who are away from us who need to come home. So with that being said, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year to everybody and to the people of Guam. God bless each and every one of you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Senator. Senator Frank Blas.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, thank you for the opportunity to be able to also give my thoughts and to reflect on what we've done over the last year. You know, I had the honor and the privilege of sitting right beside probably one of the greatest statesmen this island has ever known. And in the times that I've been able to sit with him here in these hallowed halls and had the time to meet with him elsewhere, I've learned a lot. And one of the things I've learned from this gentleman is that whatever decision that you make, always remember that your decisions are going to affect the lives of many, many people for many, many years to come. I also used to remember, just on a lighter note, you know, his little saying, plenty talk, plenty problems. Little talk, little problems. No talk, no problem. And maybe that he lived that life because he was a man that really didn't talk a lot. His presence and his aura said more than what 1,000 words can say. And he was always that person that was reassuring. I used to remember in the sessions, and many times in this hall over the last year, there were contentious issues. As the good senator from Tumuning had stated, so much so that 1-minute recesses lasted for hours. But I remember that many of those hours for that 1-minute recess were spent huddled around this table, this desk. And at the end of it, we always came out. We always came out on top. And like a good senator from Magana Heights stated, it's not a Republican or a Democrat issue. You know, one of the things that I saw over the last year is that we all knew that there really wasn't the numbers to stay down party lines. It was a reliance on a building of the consensus, of which, Mr. Speaker, I want to also personally thank you for your leadership in fostering that. And so, with that, there were a lot of challenges. But you know what? We made it. We made it. And we made it through because of the wisdom that Speaker Tony Ampinco gave to us, because of the leadership that you provided to us, the leadership that also Speaker Mark Forbes also provided to us too as well. But more importantly, it is because of the willingness of everyone in this body to work together for the common goal, to do what's best for our people. And so with that, I want to thank everybody here. Thank you, first off, to the people of Guam for giving me the opportunity to be able to be a part of this body. Thank you to my colleagues for accepting me, for being a part of, for making me a part of this family, for working together, because we made it. And in the spirit of the season, in behalf of my wife, my family, my staff, I'd like to say a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to you and yours, to the people of Guam. Please have a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And I'd like to end this with the request of our good senator from Barragata Heights now, right? Barragata? Still Mingila? Still Mingila, Barragata. She's representing both villages. Okay? And I'd like for all of us to join in. Okay? And we sing, "We Wish You a Merry Christmas." And Mr. Speaker, so that we spare the people of Guam, I'll start it.
Start it up. We'll follow your lead there.
All right?
Start it up.
So, to the people of Guam from the 29th Guam Legislature, we wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Good tidings we bring to you and your kin. Good tidings for Christmas and a Happy New Year. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. That we have still Senator Shimizu. Senator Shimizu, I hope you have a song.
Yeah, I'm glad that my good colleagues sang and came up. I mentioned to Senator Gutters that I will come forward, and my thunder's been taken away. But what I want to say here is that we wish you Bonelos Dago, we wish you Bonelos Dago, we wish you Bonelos Dago, and a Happy New Year. But in all seriousness, thank you. Thank you. Judy, that's for next year. Judy still has the supreme identity crisis, but she did a great job at the JJ. But Christmas is such a special time, because we reflect back the past 12 years. There are good things that has happened to us. There are trials and tribulations that's happened to us. Of course, we all mentioned the loss of a dear friend, Senator Ampinco. Merry Christmas para Hago, Dani Familamo. Speaker Forbes, one of the great orators, if he was here, that what we say would be pale. And I miss that. I miss Speaker Forbes. I want you to get well. May San Roque, your parish, is the patron saint of miracle healing be upon you and that you can join us at the earliest possible date. And to you and your family, thank you also for all that you've done for us. You know, ladies and gentlemen, I'm back in the legislature, and I look around, and there's 15 compared to 21 in the past. I must say, I've thoroughly enjoyed myself here. I have thoroughly enjoyed the debates. I've thoroughly enjoyed it in terms of that we can disagree but not be disagreeable. I think it's great. I think it's really good. I think the people of Guam have gotten a very well-balanced group here in terms of working together for the best interests. But I really want to look back and say, what is the most important thing that ever passed, at least in accordance to me? With all having to lay the foundation, I really believe that Resolution 103 is paramount. I honestly and truly believe that, simply because we have to protect God-given natural resources. We may have orders, but I honestly believe that the highest order lies in our Creator. Water is so important. If we destroy the waterlands, if we destroy the watershed, I can assure you that we won't be having a joyous Christmas for years and years to come. Those that have Guam as their home for hundreds, if not thousands of years, will probably be the ones to stay back. But once we destroy the water that came from our Lord, it does not belong to anyone. It belongs to God as a present to us. If we destroy that present, those that make Guam their home or won't be here. So the most important thing for Dave Simizu is not so much the location, it's what we do with what God has given to us. We are only the custodians for generations to come. The passage of Resolution 103, as hard as it may be for some, I want to thank the Speaker and all of our colleagues here for making it possible to get that message through, because a resolution is an expression, a desire. It is not a mandate. It is something that I believe, it's a prayer that we protect our natural resources. We're not going to be here forever, but generations to come will be. We're just holding in trust what my father, your mother, your great-grand gave to us. And I would hope that this person that will be able to go to the district court, because it's a very lengthy historical compendium of all that has happened. And I ask, dear Lord, to help us protect one of the most pristine of properties and of water, that it does not go up there. To do so for me, I will speak only for me, is one of the greatest mortal sin that we can ever commit on our island. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Thank you, si Diyos Masi. Maraming salamat po, Shey, and all the other, because Guam is a diversity. Thank you. Merry Christmas.
Acting Speaker Cabo, would recognize.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, first of all, I'd like to say a Dunkluna si Diyos Masi, and thank you so much to the people of Guam for allowing me the opportunity and the honor to serve them this past year as a senator serving them. I also want to pay special tribute. Number one, a tribute to our men and women in uniform. And this time, as we finish this session, and we're going to go back to our families, and we're going to hopefully enjoy a very festive and safe Christmas and New Year's. There are thousands and thousands of our men and women right now in places such as the Horn of Africa. As a matter of fact, all my brothers-in-law are in the Horn of Africa right now. But many of our friends, our family that are in uniform are serving in places as far away as Africa, Iraq, and Afghanistan. And it's to them we will hold a special tribute to, and I'd like to give them that tribute. And of course, blessings to their family and best wishes. And also a special tribute, again, to my dear friend and mentor, Tony Ampinko, Senior Senator and Speaker. I'm hopeful that as I've stood here in an acting capacity as Speaker, that Tony Ampinko is looking down at me and hopefully he'll give me a pat in the back and say, Ed, you did an okay job. And that would be the biggest compliment to me. He was my mentor and my teacher, and I want to thank him for giving me some lessons as we've gone through a very, very, how would you say, I don't want to say tumultuous, but a year of many, many issues through this legislature. I give my prayers and blessings to his family, and also a special tribute to my good friend, Speaker Mark Forbes. I can't wait to give him back this gavel, and hopefully it'll be real soon. Mark, again, has been a mentor and advisor to me as well. I'm praying for him. He's back here in the island of Guam. He's probably looking at me right now and saying, Eddie, your context or the order in which you're making this speech is not in line. But I know Mark will be back here. Our prayers are for him and his family, that it'll be a merry and Merry Christmas, and that the new year will bring a revigorated health and happiness to him and his family. And I look forward to his continued leadership in 2008. I want to thank my colleagues. This has been one heck of a year. And both for the folks that have been here for quite a few terms, as well as the freshman centers. I'm looking at all of you, including my primo. And I must say, think about this whole year and what has occurred. I mean, we've gone through three fiscal year budgets. There's been, and whether it's the COLA or the ORDOT dump, and these issues that we've gone through so many issues, as well as the loss of one senator and the illness of another senator. But I want to thank all of you, because with all the adversity that has occurred in this legislature over the past year, and if you can recall, there was a lot of intense, passionate, and sometimes angry debate that occurred early in the year. As the year became more and more adverse, and more issues had to be confronted by this legislature, there was either two ways to go. This legislature would either come apart at the seams, and there would be gridlock, or this legislature would come together. And this legislature came together. We may not agree on issues, but there was no anger, or there was no personality issues that may have started in the beginning of the year. By the end of the year, we all understood that we had a role, that the people of Guam put us in these seats to do a job and to fulfill our responsibilities. And I truly believe every one of the senators in this hall, in this 29th Guam legislature, they all made their best efforts to come together and to reach a consensus. And knowing me again as a fella that was thrown into this thing, you could have made things a heck of a lot worse for me. And I tell you guys, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for making it, because you know what? It was easy. It was easy because I saw all of you rally not because you're Republican or Democrat, but rally because you are a member of the Legislature Guahan, and you are here to serve the people of Guam. I want to thank you so much. Now, the issues, come January, those issues aren't going to go away. We're going to have financial problems and issues in the Guam public school system. We're going to have issues in regarding solid waste. We're going to have issues in how to pay the rest of the COLA and EITC. There's going to be so many issues that are going to hit us. But the direction this body has gone in this past year, I feel totally confident that we'll be able to address those issues and move forward. You know, Christmas, if you're a Christian, Christmas is about joy and thankfulness that the Son of God has come and that there is hope for a better future. If you're a non-Christian, Christmas is also bad, and if it's Hanukkah, or Passover, or some other faith, this period of the year is about a closure. And of the closure of this year, giving thanks to what we have. But it's also the start of a new year. And a new year of hope, where we can kind of shake the dust from our sandals, and for whatever things we may have done wrong, there is a chance to do right. And with that, in that sense of Christmas and that sense of hope, I wish my colleagues a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and I wish those same salutations and again, holiday and Christmas cheer and blessings to all the people of Guam. So, Mr. Speaker, I rise to say Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to the people of Guam. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
I don't have to sing because I don't know the words to any Christmas song. Thank you.
Senator Lujan, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, before I motion, I just want it noted that through the proclamation of the President of the United States and the Governor of Guam, that the legislature will be in a legislative holiday on Monday.
All right. So, for the body's information, Monday will be a holiday for the legislative branch.
Mr. Speaker, I want a motion to adjourn, subject to call of the Speaker.
On the motion, without objection, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and thank you, everyone. Legislature is adjourned.